Hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle, Wednesday, January 24th. As you can see, we got some stuff on the table. We got props here and all that.
Some things over here.
All that good stuff. I'm here. Todd's here. Back at it. Ant is joining us once again. Ant is back on the program. What's going on, Ant?
What's up, man?
What's up, man? What's up?
We here. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to dive right into NFL postseason. Detroit Lions heading back to the NFC Championship game for the first time in 30-something years, and Baker showed up. The bad Baker showed up at the wrong time. It was a pretty good game for the most part, and then that interception killed it.
Yeah, man.
And they had plenty of time. There was a lot of time left in the game, too.
I just think the game plan wasn't in Baker's favor. I know Baker's back, but they put too much in his hands. They could have just did him a favor by, at least rushing the ball at least 20 times compared to only 15. And then him getting sacked at crucial parts of the game is what really kind of made the game for the Lions, man.
Yeah, and also I didn't understand that going for the two after they scored the touchdown when they got it to 31-23. I don't get why they went for two. They had a lot of time left, and then because it's like, all right, but now that you missed it, you're gonna have to go for two again. So it was kind of like analytics apparently was the reason, but at that point it wasn't like too late in the game and you're not out of reach for you to go 2 for 2 and chasing points.
Yeah, man. And what you think, brother?
I didn't know why they went for two either, but Detroit, they seem to be one of those teams of destiny this year, man. It just seems to be their year. I mean, we all laughed at the coach when he first got the job and he was on the podium talking about biting ankles and all that type of stuff. And here we are a couple years later in the NFC Championship, right? So, I think all things are working out for them. They've been playing good all year. Baker Mayfield's Baker Mayfield. I mean, he's good, but he is who he is. And I think with a lot of quarterbacks, when we start to see like they are who they are when we get to the playoffs. And he's played injured before, and it didn't help him then either, right? Like playing injured only works if you win. You know what I'm saying? And then it looks so much better because you played hurt. When you play hurt and you lose, some people be like, "Oh, he's tough," and the locker room might give you a little bit of whatever, but you lost still, right? Like if you can't play, don't play, right? So I mean, it is what it is. I think Baker is Baker.
And he's not one of those big quarterbacks that could withstand a lot of hits. Like Cam Newton.
He's little.
Yeah, like Cam Newton, Josh Allen, those type of games. Yeah, so Aiden Hutchinson was all over the place. The Lions defense was drawing up all these different blitzes and all that. So they had him flustered, but Lions running game too. That rookie Jahmyr Gibbs and then Montgomery. Yeah.
Just overall balanced team, man. They can beat you both ways. And Goff, he's
redemption.
Yeah, he's being smarter with the ball. He's being selective, and he's playing good football. And I like how Ant talked about the coach, how everybody laughed at him. And I feel like they're always trying to change the culture of certain things. Oh no, we didn't laugh because we knew like this is football. Like you can't fake football. You can't fake being strong. You can't fake being good at sports at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like what people are trying to do in this world of facading because we live in that social media world. But as you see certain coaches that are just football, just live and breathe, eat football, and their tradition and culture is football, they're actually the better better teams around the league right now.
Definitely. Also, Jared Goff might be I think Tom Brady, Kurt Warner, there's another quarterback I'm forgetting that's led multiple teams to Peyton Manning. That's led multiple teams to a NFC Championship game.
Man.
That's two different franchises to a championship game. If he gets to the Super Bowl, I mean, he could rewrite his whole story because the story for him in LA with the Rams was they have to walk him through everything. I mean, they have to tell him where to throw it to right before the play is called and all that stuff. And like now it's like
that sounds like the man's incompetent human being.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much why they got rid of him. They had like no confidence in him like reading the defense and stuff like that. But now it's like.
But remember what I said, man. He went to Detroit and it's cold out there, and where we're from, like we have a certain attention to detail. I don't know what it's like to grow up in California, but the way that heat is, I could be probably lackadaisical too. Like, I'm just saying, you gotta be quick out here. It's cold, man. I ain't playing with y'all. Like out there, it's a little different. Like, I come in the gym mad when it's cold outside. Like what?
Nah,
he's playing. He's playing good football. He's definitely rewriting his storybook.
San Francisco, the Packers blew this game. I mean, San Fran had that late drive, but the Packers legit blew this game. Jordan Love was playing so well until he went Brett Favre on us with the trying to throw across his body late in the game when he didn't really need to because they still had time. I think they only needed a field goal, right?
Yeah.
Only needed a field goal. I don't know. I think that was just a young quarterback rushing and making an irrational decision.
I think it's the moments.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple young. Oh, go ahead, Ant.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, it's kind of like the other one for me, man. Like at the end of the day, make the field goal, and then we can see what happens in overtime. Right? Like at the end of the day, you gotta make the field goal.
There was 2 missed field goals in this one too. There was the Packers had.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But even that first one, with all that going on, at the end of the day, it's the kick stuff. To get to overtime, most likely, right? Like we got to make that kick, man. We got to make that kick.
Have one job.
You are right. This is playoff football, and you're supposed to be able to be reliable, especially in them situations, to at least continue.
There were chip shots. There were 50-yarders, 55-yarders, which guys make 60-yard field goals. That's over half the field, which is ridiculous. You don't even have to get to half the field to be able to score. Guys make 60-yard field goals regularly. Like those were chip shots.
And we remember we grew up in an era where like a lot of kickers were way more reliable than today's kickers. I feel like.
I mean, Vinatieri was knocking them down from like 40 yards in the
he's
snow.
a Hall of Famer. I'm talking about just like kickers across the board. It just felt like it was just way more reliable.
Yeah, but when you watch this game, I don't know who's calling the plays for the Packers, but those receivers seem to just be wide open. They were just wide open in that secondary all the time. It's like 2 weeks in a row. They was just running free.
I was gonna say it's kind of been like that for them for a couple of weeks.
Who's drawing up these plays and what is the defense?
Yeah, man, it's just unfortunately, they started off hot, just like the 49ers started off cold, and then the second half, the scripts flipped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then it was one of those things, they just needed one stop. Their defense just needed to make that one last stop. They did it. Of course, Brock Purdy played pretty bad for the majority of the game until that last drive. I told somebody this about Brock Purdy. He's gonna throw it to you a few times in the game. You just have to catch it.
Yeah.
You just
Brock Purdy is going to end up being Brock Purdy. Just like I said about Baker Mayfield. You could be mad at you could be mad at Cam Newton if you want for telling the truth.
We've already seen a small sample size of Brock by himself, and and it was bad.
And even in this game, I think the Packers, there was one play the dude dropped the pick six. He had a touch. He had it going the other way. And there was at least 3 or 4 passes the Packers just dropped, and it's like one of those things. It's like even when the Lions coming in, you just got to be ready because he's gonna give you a few.
But that's kind of the microcosm of the Packers season as well. You know, and they started off kind of rough too with the wide receivers not really helping Love out, and then they kind of got it clicking. Then they kind of resorted back. They kind of resorted back to who they were.
But for the Niners, this is their 3rd straight NFC Championship game. So let's see if they could get back to the Super Bowl for the first time in 2019. But Detroit isn't going to be a pushover.
Not at all.
They're not. And I'm a Patriots fan, so since I don't have a dog in the race, I always want to see new blood. So I'm hoping it's Detroit, Baltimore.
Just told him if Detroit somehow wins this, I know somebody that lives out in Detroit. I'm gonna call her up and tell her I'm pulling up for the parade because.
Bro, I think honestly Detroit's the most likable team in football. If you ask me, man.
Yeah.
It's just old school football.
Yeah, and the parade's gonna have a lot of mink coats, Frank Lucas style out there.
A lot of minks and buffs.
Right. The Ravens, Lamar, man. I mean, there's nothing much people can say about Lamar of what he can't do because he's been really putting it to his critics with his performance, and this was probably his best postseason performance due to the fact he's healthy.
Yeah, man.
And his team is too. Unfortunately, he's not really putting it to his critics because it's all about him winning the Super Bowl at the end of the day. And not even getting there. Like, he has to win it. Like his critics are saying he can't win a Super Bowl, or you can't win a Super Bowl with his style of play. He has to win it. So, he's playing great, and I love it, and I want to see Baltimore win it. But unfortunately, he's not sticking it to his critics yet.
Well, with that being said, I like how they play. I don't have an issue with him being a lead in rushing now, because when the playoffs, you got to go for broke. So however you want to use them now, you save them for the season. You saved them from injury throughout the season. Yeah. So now, it's time to go for broke. And with the Texans, they had a great season. Stroud had a great rookie campaign.
Yeah.
I just felt when he did that intentional grounding call, that's what I felt. I felt like the moment was too big for him, because he's about to get lit up and he didn't know what to do. And I was like, yeah, this game's over. And I seen that, and I was like, this game's over.
He's young. He has time. He wasn't even supposed to be there, right? Like, he has time, right? It's Lamar's time, man.
Yeah, and also this is the best defense in the league, so it's kind of like you ain't never seen this type of defense, and they've been consistent with the pass rush and DBs that can make plays.
But shout out to Stroud, he ain't had no intos. No. So for him to even not play to his standard or how he usually plays, for him not to turn the ball over, just shows that he's kind of like he has a different, I want to say, intellect when it comes to the game. He's not just gonna just I want to say poop the bed. I don't want to be swearing all over the show, get bleeped out. But you know what I mean? He's not just going to just ruin it for the team.
Yeah, and it also shows that, like, he probably understands now, like, there's another level you got to get when playoff football comes, when you're on the road.
Right.
Yeah, that's the part.
He's seen it now. Yeah.
Man, they were blitzing all day. Yeah. But for the Ravens, a lot of people saying they're probably the most complete team in these playoffs, just because of the way their offense is set up. They're gonna run the ball a certain amount of times, and then Lamar, if you want to keep him in the pocket, he'll kill you in the pocket. If you get him outside of the pocket, he could either run for the first down or throw on the run. One thing he's been doing a lot better of, not getting hit when he's running. He knows how to get out of bounds, so just to slide right away, just to preserve himself, because their whole chances of winning a Super Bowl is dependent on him staying upright.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I concur.
Yeah. All right. If y'all follow me on Twitter, I was bashing the Bills I was laughing, actually, because, a couple weeks ago I had Buffalo Bills fans, not even Buffalo Bills fans, Josh Allen fans were mad at me, and they were attacking me on social media because I said he's the most overhyped quarterback in the league, and then they tell me I don't know football, telling me all these stats. He's the only quarterback that's had over 40 touchdowns in 4 straight seasons, and I just keep asking him, what has he done, though? Has he won an MVP? No. Has he got to the Super Bowl?
Right.
No. Has he even been the first team All-Pro? No. So I'm like, he's just a fantasy football's dream, GM's dream. But man, the Bills wide right hit them rights again. It's like the biggest choking franchise ever.
Yeah, man, there's something wrong with that franchise, man. They just can't win, man. It's like they had in the 90s, they had that string of runner-ups in the Super Bowl, and now they got the string of runner-ups in just division finals and just division playoffs. It's like, damn, bro, like, you can't get over the hump for nothing. But the standard's getting worse, though.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't feel for him, because I don't think none of us ever lost this much together. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going on. Just bad spirits, it's just bad for them.
It's the karma for how they treated Marshawn Lynch, the community, how they were profiling him a lot. That's karma right there.
I could see that, and and then playing the Chiefs doesn't help.
No.
Every year.
No. We know you're not a big fan of the Bills either.
Yeah, I mean, again, man, I feel like I keep saying the same thing. Some of these, like, franchises and players, they just are who they are. This is who the Bills are, man. Like, this is who the Bills are, right? Like you said, what was it, 4 years in a row with Jim Kelly and those guys, and a bunch of years not being good, and then when you're back to good, they're just regular season good. Josh Allen's just okay. I mean, they're the Bills.
Don't forget the Music City Miracle.
This is true.
Oh, yeah.
But, the worst thing I feel like for them is, it's like they had the best game plan to win. I'm looking at the stats. I'm like, no turnovers. They ran the ball 39 times, had 2 touchdowns on the ground. You know what I mean?
If you're going to beat Kansas City and Mahomes, like, this is the year to beat them. Right? Like,
just Didn't come through, and unfortunately, he's part of the team.
And I'm looking at they had a plus 15 advantage in time of possession, 37-22. So they kept Mahomes on the sidelines. But this just shows you how much of a legend Mahomes is because you can play your best game, absolute perfect game, and somehow he still finds a way to put his team in the position to win it. I mean, Mecole Hardman, he's lucky the Chiefs didn't lose this one for trying to reach over the goal line with on first down or something like that and fumbles it out the end zone. So he's lucky, but the playmakers for the Bills didn't make the plays when they needed to. I mean, they talk about when they were in Kansas City that Josh Allen didn't get the ball in overtime to give him a chance to win. Talk about keep going on Kansas City in the playoffs. Now everything was in your favor. You had home field advantage. You beat them early in the season. You were down 3 points and you had a chance to drive and get a touchdown to take the lead or tie it with the field goal, and none of it happened. Stephon Diggs, he drops probably a perfect pass. He drops it. Josh Allen, he has Stephon Diggs again wide open, but he goes for a touchdown, but that comes up short. And then your defense didn't make the plays when they didn't make the stop when they needed to. They was doing it all that time. But also, they can't say the Bills defense didn't show up because the Bills defense gave them a chance a couple times when it was 27-24. You put up 0 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. The Bills were mid. The Bills were mid all year. I don't know why anybody thought it was going to change in the playoffs.
It's because they got this they want to put Josh Allen in this they want to put him all the way up here. They
want to put him in the top 10. He's not.
Yeah, they say they can. They want him to be so much. They want him to be better than Mahomes so bad, but it's kind of like proven year after year. Like when it's the most important game, he can't make the big plays to beat Mahomes. And Mahomes got receivers who can't catch.
Yep.
So I don't give a damn about the Bills. They could kick rocks. Enjoy the offseason. That whole franchise is about to get they're about to have a whole makeover for the franchise. We're gonna preview the championship games. First up is Detroit versus San Francisco. This one, styles. Two different styles. Almost similar, but different. Like San Francisco, they want to get the ball to their playmakers. Their success is dependent on Christian McCaffrey. Deebo Samuel got a shoulder injury, so not sure how healthy he'll be. And once again, Detroit's secondary linebackers, be ready because Brock Purdy is going to throw. He's going to throw a couple your way. You just you just have to catch it. You literally just have to catch it. But I think this should be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think the Lions' ground game and their receivers and how they get yards after the catch. Yeah. I wonder how the 49ers are gonna kind of defend that. Mm-hmm. And I'm rooting for the Lions, man. I don't really care too much about the 49ers right now since the Lions.
Yeah. And if the Lions,
same thing for me, man. I want the Lions to win. I think San Fran's a better team, not without Deebo Samuel though. So if he's not playing, I think the Lions have a very good chance to win that game. I want to see them pull it out.
Yeah, and I think that, and one thing, a weakness for the 49ers is their secondary. I think the Lions, they'll have some success in the passing game because their cornerbacks are not good, especially when they lost that defensive back. He's like Troy Polamalu's protege. I forget his name, but no, he's nice. But he tore his ACL, so. Yeah, so when they lost him, that kind of changed the way the safeties plays because he was like one of those safeties that he's all over the place. Like they'll put him all over the place, so that kind of weakens their secondary. But yeah, if there's plays to be made for the Lions, it's those secondaries. Then they do have some fast receivers, and then for the Lions. You can run. I mean, the Packers showed you can run the ball on the 49ers, so you just gotta neutralize their pass rush. But you can. There are plays to be made in the run game. So, but yeah, I'm rooting for Detroit.
Colin,
yes, sir.
When Detroit wins, you're gonna be like,
man,
who's the Mac? Ask yourself. What the big coats? Talking about coats.
Oh, yeah.
New Pedro Fool. Kansas City, Baltimore. I think so for Baltimore. I think this was the perfect matchup for them, just because if you want to get to the Super Bowl, you got to beat the champs. That just like makes their story a lot more intriguing because, I mean, these are top dogs. You could say what you want about their receivers or how their deficiencies are this year, but they've shown they're still the top dogs in big games, and they could win on the road or at home. So now you got the top dogs coming in. It's one of those that's like, be the champs. You got to beat the champs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it lined up that way. You definitely don't have to beat the champs to beat the champs. It's just lined up that way. But at the end of the day, I think Baltimore's a better team. I don't think Kansas City's really that good. They just beat a team in Buffalo that's not that good either. So I got Baltimore. I'm riding with Lamar to the wheels fall off, all the way to the Super Bowl.
Well, we all know that the Chiefs, they have a hard time stopping the run. So I think they're even going to have a harder time stopping a dual quarterback. Mm-hmm. What's up?
And that's what makes it more funny that the Bills lost. Because the Bills were running all over them that whole game.
Yeah.
And then they stopped.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. The Chiefs' running game has been trash for the past, 4 or 5 years? No, I wouldn't say trash.
You talking about their run defense?
Yeah, my bad. Run defense hasn't been that good for the past 4 or 5 years. So, I just think they're going to have a hard time with Lamar personally.
Yeah, and Dalvin Cook, apparently, they picked him up.
Yep. Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah, and he had a pretty good game against the Texans. So now you got 3 running backs plus the quarterback. So.
And they've been clicking for the past few weeks now compared to the Chiefs that's still trying to figure it out. They're still trying to put a complete game together. So I got Baltimore too, man.
Yeah. Well, one thing we gotta give credit to the Chiefs: their receivers aren't dropping the ball no more when it counts. So
at the moment.
At the moment, but they got
stakes
hit.
only get higher, man.
Yeah, so we'll see if it comes back. The hands like feet, but kudos to that. All right, we gotta move on. We got Athletes Corner. We got Stephen Basden in the building. He talked about he has the Winter Olympics Jamboree this weekend at Lynn Tech. So the Special Olympics Jamboree at Lynn Tech. So he's been working with the Lynn Special Olympics for a while now. He talked about that. Talked about going to Governor's Academy, playing at Endicott, and and the stuff he's doing now. So check this Athletes Corner out. Then we're gonna come back some NBA stuff that's been happening. Hello and welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner on this snowy, rainy day in Massachusetts. I am here with Steven. What is going on, my guy?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you, man?
Everything's well. Trying to stay dry and warm.
Hey, I hear that. I hear that. We got a lot to chat about. We got the 2024 Winter Olympics Jamboree coming up in a couple weeks.
Special Olympics Jamboree.
Yep, and but first before we get to that, we're going to take a little bit back the audience about your journey, your basketball journey, and how it's gotten you to this point. First off, Governor's Academy.
Yes.
Playing 4 years there. Just tell me, how was it you going there? Boarding school, just the whole boarding school experience.
Yeah, I mean, From what I remember, from what I understand, I was probably one of the earlier young adults, young men to go to boarding school from Lynn. And up until that point, I'm playing all Lynn youth sports, CYO. So I'm very ingrained with the community. So, the first thing is the culture shock, right? You're on campus, you're not in Lynn anymore. Right. Campus is a mile wide. Campus is 2% people of color. Campus is not the music is different, the food is different. So there's a very big culture shock when it comes to, I guess, the overall experience. But when it comes to the sports, and this is why I'm such a huge advocate of boarding school, I think it puts young athletes in a place and gives them the resources they need to maximize some pretty big opportunities that they could have. We were chatting a little bit off camera, but we're eating 3 good meals a day there, and it's 7 days a week. We have a weight room, we have a gym, we have 24-hour, or not 24-hour, but 12-hour-a-day trainers who obviously are pretty well established. There's just so many different resources there as an athlete to really get ready for college.
Yeah, and for you, because a lot of the kids, either from Lynn or any other surrounding areas, they don't go there for 4 years. Some might go for 3 years.
Yeah.
Some might go for 2. You know, some might start off at public or private school, and then they'll go. You know, if one of these schools sees them and are interested, they'll come get them like after 1 or 2 years. So they're not spending the whole 4 years there. They're spending like 2 years there. Some just probably 1. So you got the full-on 4 years experience.
Yeah.
And how did that help you develop your character just as a person?
Yeah, and I guess that's the biggest thing is when you're there for 4 years, you're going in at 13, 14. I mean, that's barely a teenager. And you're coming out at 18. Some of the kids on campus could be 19 because, again, it's a prep school. One, it made me independent. It immediately challenged my independence. And not in the sense of like, oh, is he okay with being my, like, am I following up with my own teachers? Am I waking up by myself? Am I dressing appropriately? Like the small things that I think sometimes kids have the luxury of when they live with their parents. But when it comes to character, I also think it really tested the person that Lynn made me. So it tested my diversity in this like culture. Like I feel like I had more experiences living in the Lynn, living across the street from Dominicans and next to Cambodians and 3 houses down from a white family. So I had seen a little bit more of the world than I think these more privileged kids did.
Yeah.
So I think that was something that like I was pretty proud of coming from Lynn. Like this isn't new. Like there's a little bit of everybody in Lynn.
Right.
So I wasn't too like taken back by seeing kids from different countries. But I would say, yeah, when it comes down to like what it did for my character, I think it really just brought like the best characteristics Lynn puts into us out of me, which was resilient, independent, culturally aware. And then also, I mean, I got to be myself because like I think that's a lot of, at least when I was growing up in Lynn, being yourself and being able to express yourself as a child in pretty loud or weird or quirky ways was okay. So I did that there and they liked it. So yeah, I think character-wise, it challenged me, but it really just kind of exposed who I really was and allowed it to grow.
Yeah, basketball-wise now, this is playing at that level of basketball. You're going to come across with some guys that are for sure going to the league.
Yeah, NBA.
Yeah,
like, and this is,
and it might be 3 games in a row. You're probably facing somebody that doesn't even bother need to go to college, but they probably still will. How is that? How is that getting to play that level of basketball and seeing like the competition that was out there, and you know, seeing 6'9" guys playing point guard.
Yeah, so that was the first thing I noticed is point guard. Like when I freshman year in Middlesex School, I had Rod Odom. Rod Odom was like Lamar Odom. He's 6'9", 6'7" guard. He's at Middlesex as a junior, senior. He ends up going to Vanderbilt or something like that. But like that's who's bringing up the ball as a 14-year-old. St. Mark's was packed at the time towards my end of my career there. Right before Marcos went there, their starters are wearing the D1 school warm-ups that they're going to, and it's Florida, Georgetown, like Indiana, Alabama. Like, so it really becomes very clear that you're playing in environments where everybody on the court is trying to play at the next level. And, I mean, from the Lawrence Academy, Shabazz, I mean, he's shooting from half court. So like and what I think was also cool is like you're preparing for these players in a way that's college-like. So like it's Tuesday of practice after science class and I'm getting yelled at because our scout team is shooting from half court and I'm not covering them. And we're playing Shabazz the next game. But there's also the other people like Denzel was at Lawrence Academy at the same time.
That's my guy, Denzel.
Brooks ended up going crazy towards the end. And they had some really incredible like players who played D1 to D3 level. So the level immediately skyrocketed, but also the way you approach the game. I mean, the games are an hour and a half plus away. The games are after JV games, so it becomes a little bit more similar to college or to even higher level where your game day preparation starts at like 1 p.m. on a Wednesday for a 7 o'clock game. You'll be back home around 11 p.m. and still got school the next day at 8. So it really like intensifies the way you want to approach the game because you see the talent on the other side, and I mean any competitor is gonna be like, I can't go out bad against this.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that was the biggest shock. Was like, and it was a shock, but it was also like kind of like something to brag about. Is like I'm not just playing a Malden Catholic, like I'm playing a Lawrence Academy or I'm playing a Middlesex school that has X, Y, and Z on it. So I'm really kind of testing it. And then I think coaches always preach this, but like if there's scouts in the gym for them, they're going to see you too if you do something.
Yeah,
so there's
right.
also that idea of kind of like, well, I'm in the right gym if nothing else.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Denzel too. He's playing professionally in Australia.
He's been solid for a decade plus.
Yeah, definitely. He's coaching. He's assistant at Tabor right now.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's up. Tabor's another good school. They had a few ballers.
Yeah, they got one right now too. Ooh.
Yeah.
He's good. He's
The ISL
good.
has it. And honestly, I think we were bigger. The ISL Independent School League was bigger when I was there, but talent-wise now,
Yeah, they still got it.
I mean, every school is shooting something.
Yeah, Rivers got 7 Division I players on their team.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Then you ended up at Endicott College, just not too far from here, getting to play college basketball, which is anybody's dream. I know everybody wants to play Division I basketball, but I always say the opportunity of just playing college basketball in general is always just a great thing for anybody because you just can't take those experiences away. What was it about Endicott that got you there, and what did you love about just being part of that basketball program?
Yeah, Endicott was it was an interesting situation because like going through the whole high school thing, you start to realize where divisions and people's skill level and work set fall. So you start to kind of get a better idea of like where you're going to end up. And there were like low D1s where I had the opportunity to go try, go maybe play a few minutes. But I knew I was going to have to put in that D1 work ethic. And at that point, I was mature enough as a 17-year-old to say like I don't have that same work ethic. So as I started looking at other schools in the area, I started to prioritize like, if this is my last 4 years, I want my family to be able to see me play. So I wanted to stay somewhat local. And then 2, I wanted to play somewhere where I thought I'd be able to play right away. And again, like now looking back on recruiting, I think everybody says you're going to play right away. So you got to like actually look at the roster.
Right.
And then the last one was honestly the academics. Like again, being at a private boarding school, you start to understand life beyond sports, but you also start to understand like sports can be that catalyst. So I'm like, if Endicott's going to be very affordable for me because of basketball, what other opportunities are there that I can use outside of? So they have this internship program that's pretty incredible. So those 3 things led me to Endicott itself. And then talking with the coach at the time was Phil Rowe. And he had coached at UNH for a few years. He had a pretty long resume in coaching. He had an assistant coach who he's really good at recruiting. He's on the road. He's talking to kids. He's remembering the facts about us. He's consistent. So they really showed like the most genuine interest. And then when it came down to visiting the campus, it was beautiful. You look at the roster, you're like, all right, I think I could play here right away or there or in this position. And then you start to hear like who else is going to be playing with you. And that's where it started to get fun is because, again, I'm playing in ISL, which is a pretty good private school league. And I'm starting to hear that they're recruiting in my same class, like some of the top players from our league. Again, players who physical stature didn't allow them to go D1, but skill set, no question about it.
Yeah, definitely. And you also got the opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament.
Exactly. And that came, I mean, like I said, so I was recruited by Phil Rowe. He was the head coach there. Freshman year, we made it to the playoffs in what was a interesting season. I think we had 30 people on the roster. We're subbing 5 in, 5 out.
Yeah.
We don't know who's starting the game, but end up losing first round of playoffs. In between our first and second year, Kevin Betancourt came and took over the head coaching job. And I mean, again, you're as a young adult who's in this 3rd to last year of playing basketball, most likely, you're like, do I want to play? Do I want to prove to another coach? Am I going to like?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of those questions as my class was heading into that sophomore year. But I mean, when he came in and you understood how player focused he is, how especially we had some scorers on our team. He allows you to score. He likes scores. He's not going to hold you back. They were all
scorer himself.
Exactly. I mean, he was a bona fide scorer. And then you realize his ability to connect with us as young adults also was like, it was very genuine. And in a way that like we talked to him about things way outside of basketball, just on campus. Like how serious should I be about a shooting funk? Or he understood if somebody on the team broke up with a girlfriend, he might be shooting 20% next 2 games. Like a little down and out. So we were really blessed to have him. And right away, I mean, 14, 16 games in a row, we're winning. I mean, we're not winning. We're clapping teams in our league. Like we're beating them by 20 plus 2 times in a season. We're going to the playoffs. We wash through everybody, win the championship, get to the tournament my sophomore year. Junior year, get to the tournament. Senior year, get there through an at-large bid. So yeah, and to your point, I think like playing at any level is a privilege, but playing at an engaged school, like we used to have 2,000 to 3,000 people at our games.
Yeah.
Teachers were invested in it. That's what really made the experience like crazy. Is like regardless of the level of play itself, how serious the campus took it, how serious us on the court, our competitors, our conference, everybody involved took it. It didn't matter who was in or not in that gym. It just mattered that we were there. So yeah, it was some pretty epic moments, and it even came down to a few against Marcos and Nichols too.
Yeah, definitely. And your 4 years is up there.
Yep.
Now you're getting into the real world. Special Olympics.
The very real world. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that start with you? How did you become involved with the Special Olympics?
Yeah. So I mean, we talk about sports and character. So Special Olympics actually been a part of my life forever. So my older brother, he has autism as well as Klinefelter's, which is a developmental delay. So, I mean, some of my earliest memories of sports, whether it be basketball, other sports, were in a setting where there were kids with intellectual disability. So as I'm introduced to sports, I'm almost not realizing there's an elite level and a substance. Like, it's just we're all out here to play.
Yeah.
And he may not be as good as me, but he's on my team, so we're going to have to. So, like, I've always had that association with Special Olympics. But after college, obviously you start to have more time for it.
Yeah.
And you start to invest in it. And you start to understand a little bit more of how impactful sports can be.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I've come. So I spent a little bit of time in marketing and sports entertainment with a footwear company, which was incredible. Like all-star weekends all the time, draft nights, draft suites. It was all fun. And it was still sports related. So don't get me wrong. I love sports. But at the end of the day, when you're able to use sports and sports programming to give kids an opportunity to either develop within that sport or just do something productive, I think you start to realize how it changes, like, it has a societal impact almost.
Yeah.
Because, like, these kids are happier, they're more healthier, it's cheaper on insurance,
Yeah.
that turns into higher attendance at school, that turns into happier teachers. Like, it all domino effects. And I think the way sports can do it is so authentic and true to Lynn. I mean,
Yeah.
we love sports.
When you see, also following on that, because when you see a lot of the teams, not even in Lynn, but I go around the state, but you see a lot of the teams, they'll have one of the special needs kids on the roster in uniform, or a manager on the team.
Exactly.
And when you see the joy that player gets just from the team, his teammates having a good time, winning, and then you see the teammates happy to see him or her on the sidelines, or they in the classroom, they just happy to see them on campus. That just brings so many people together just on that level.
And it's the idea of inclusion. Like and it's so easy. What is it? An extra seat on the bus, an extra jersey, an extra seat on the bench. And to your point, the impact that has on the individual who's a part of it and their family. They may have never seen this kid on a court. They may have never seen him interact with neurotypical kids. And then the impact it could have on your star player. He may have a deeper understanding for his work ethic. He may have a huger or increased like amount of gratification from like, damn, I'm able to like do this at this high of a level just because God allowed or whoever. I think it's so beneficial to everybody involved because it gives neurotypical kids, I think, a deeper understanding of who's in society with them. Because again, a person with autism, it's not a death sentence. Like, they're going to be here till they're 80, and they're going to be on the buses with us, and they're going to be at the games and different community events with us. They're a part of our community. So it's not something that, like, you're going to have a one-off interaction. You're going to see them going to the Boys and Girls Club. You're going to see my brother going to the library, working at the rink. You're going to see some of my friends at the pizza shop. And it's if we could continue to foster a community where they understand and we understand that there's space for everybody and we all belong, it's all a joy. Like, has anybody ever been mad when it comes to a special needs athlete competing alongside or with? And again, I believe in high-level sports. I believe in elite sports, and I don't necessarily think they should mix. I just think there's space for both to be done at the same time and celebrate it in the same way. So, yeah, you'll see a lot of these teams, and shout out to a lot of the Lynn High School teams because they've been very outgoing in the way they want to support. St. Mary's has been a huge like supporter of us over the last few years. His Dave Brown and his program, and yeah, whether it's one kid, whether it's them adopting a team, some high schools even have a full team. It'll be varsity, JV, and then Special Olympics. And the MIA recognizes that a sport, so it's an accredited sport. You get a varsity letter. We have a state championship. We have jamborees. We have jerseys. So yeah, it gets, and it's getting more legit. And I think it's in the best benefit of everybody involved, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of Jamboree, we're running out of time. But speaking of Jamboree, you do have one coming up on the 28th at Lynn Tech.
New beautiful gym.
Yeah, they got the floor. Talk about how many teams you got coming in for this one. What's the day going to be like for those that are interested in attending?
Yeah. So, Special Olympics Lynn, we service about 60 athletes, ages 2 all the way up. Our 3 teams will be there. 3 teams meaning we have an 8 to 15 team, 16 plus team, or 16 to 21, then 22 plus. So our 3 teams will be participating. A lot of kids, adults you may have seen, worked with. Oh, that's so-and-so's cousin. We have Salem High School. They have a unified team that they plan to be bringing out. The Northeast Arc, which is a local resource a lot of people are familiar with, they have an adults team they're bringing out. So right now we have those 3. Newburyport and Andover have the invite out, so they'll probably be coming. But essentially, it's a jamboree, just like any other tournament, just like the Christmas tournament for the neurotypical teams. We're going to have 4 games. We're going to have a youth clinic halfway through the day, which is open to anybody with or without disability. And the stands are going to be packed with local supporters, like community leaders. It's the people who are constantly advocating for the kids. It's going to be some of the boys and girls varsity teams in the stands. And it's going to be a really special day celebrating these athletes and showing them that they are deserving of the same environment as their neurotypical peers. I mean, I think sometimes we forget, like talk about kids that may not have ever been allowed in the varsity gym because the classroom and their schedule doesn't allow for it. They're going to get a chance to shoot in front of hopefully 100 plus people. So that's January 28th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Lynn Tech new gym. Any and everybody's welcome. Free entry, obviously.
Yeah.
Going to have some giveaway prizes. But, yeah, that's something that the community has already showed a lot of support in. Yeah. And I'm hoping that even more and more people come out so they can then learn about Special Olympics and everything else we do.
Yeah, definitely will be a great time. Remember, if you're free January 28th, go. It's a Sunday, so swing
by. Yeah, it's 4 or 5 hours over at Lynn Tech.
Yeah, you'll catch the football games later.
Yeah,
you'll get out before that. Man, I still got a lot more questions. But we'll get you back here again and talk about circle back, talk more, because I definitely want to talk more about the special needs, Special Olympics, and how you do it. Let them know where they can find you, social media, all that.
Yes, so you can find, or keep it short, you can find me on Facebook, Stephen Basden, name's right at the bottom of the screen. But you can also always, if you have an email or a question, email lynnspecialolympics@gmail.com. Those are the 2 best ways to find me, personally. And if you know somebody who knows me, just have them pass along a message.
My man.
All right, then I appreciate you.
Appreciate it as always. Thanks, Riley, for doing this. In the behind the scenes, y'all can't see Riley, but he's making this go. Also, shout out to Danny. Y'all can't see her. Y'all can't see Danny, but Danny was snapping photos, getting those angles. You've been watching Athletes Corner. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Stay warm. All right, and we are back. All right, I did have a rundown for the NBA stuff, but we had breaking news last night. Doc Rivers is now the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. Adrian Griffin is fired.
Crazy.
So this pretty much guarantees that the Bucks won't win the championship because
That's wild.
I mean,
especially they got a 3-1 lead. You know they ain't gonna win it.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I don't know.
We've seen Doc Rivers before with great players. He's only got it done once, and all the other times he's just been, Doc Rivers is an overrated coach.
I don't even understand how you. I mean, I'm sure some people might not have been pleased. I just think a firing like this got to come from somebody very powerful. That might sit on the bench.
that comes from the playing.
Yeah,
I'm out of there, hands down, no questions asked. Because they're underachieving, but they're not bad. You know what I'm saying? And so to be not even halfway through the season and to just kind of pull the plug on them like that, unexpectedly. I don't know if there were rumblings or anything. I know people were saying, they need to get it together, and he needs to be, if they don't get it together, then maybe. But Giannis went in there and said he got to go.
Nah, pretty much.
I almost spit out my water.
And the worst part is, it's his first year. It's his first year, so he's like,
I was trying to be subtle about it, but damn, all right.
no, you ain't gotta be subtle.
Grand opening, grand close.
Legit. And I also think Doc Rivers was probably doing on some backdoor stuff, like, yo.
Some tampering? That's the first thing that came to mind, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think he was. I think he was in cahoots.
That man sound like coffee and nicotine.
Yeah. But
He's probably the most ready too, right? Like he's just not too far removed from being on the sideline. So
I just feel like
I don't know what else you call, right? Like he's right there, he's commentating, he's like a season removed. You know what I mean? So
nah.
NBA just love Doc. Some certain execs that just love to keep Doc around.
He's not a bad coach. I feel like I don't feel like he's overrated. I don't think people look at him as a great coach.
Oh,
I feel like he's a good coach, and that's exactly how people look at him. And then there's situations where he might make a bad decision. You know what I'm saying, here and there, whatever. He should have more championships than he does. I think that's the issue. People feel like he should have more championships than he does with the teams he had.
With that, I definitely agree with that. But now the Bucks, now all eyes are going to be on your stars because, like, if y'all don't get it done, y'all don't get it done, and everybody's going to look at y'all like y'all got rid of the coach and y'all still can't get there. Like, so what's really the problem?
They didn't even wait till All-Star break. It's like, damn.
That's what I'm saying.
Respectful.
That's on that. What's that coach from the former coach from the Cavs? David Black.
Yeah.
This is like on that type of stuff.
Again, what are they? Third in the East, maybe.
Second in the East. Then Adrian's an ex-player. It's like, bro, just no respect.
Right, you gotta give him a chance. Jeez Louise. Other NBA news: the Heat traded for Terry Rozier. They traded Kyle Lowry, so they added Terry Rozier to their team. Another scorer.
Oh no, I like Terry being added, but
younger too. Healthy.
I like Terry.
And Kyle's he's been just like, it's slowly like processing that it's almost time for him to be done. It's almost his time. His time's almost up in the league. That's kind of like what this is heading towards too. Heat had to make that. But good move, good move by the Heat.
I'm not mad at the Heat at all for that.
Yeah, Terry Rozier. I mean, when he was with the Celtics, he was a bucket. He was getting buckets in Charlotte. So it's never a problem to have multiple scores.
I don't know. The only thing for me, I mean, we'll see how it works. I don't know if the Heat need him to be a bucket like how he's usually used to being a bucket. He probably needs to kind of distribute a little more. I don't know if he could do that. We'll see.
This is true.
Maybe Pat Riley will have that talk with him.
Yeah, we'll see.
It was a scoring frenzy Monday night in the NBA. Embiid dropping 70 and 18. Cat dropping 60 and 60. But the coach went off because he said they disrespected the game because they kept force feeding him and got away from what they were doing and blew
I'm tired of these people with all these unwritten rules, man. I'm tired of it. The same thing with that football game, saying when people should score, how they should score, and whatever. And then we turn around and say, like, play till the final buzzer goes off. Like, which one is it? Like, which one is it? Like, the unwritten rule thing is bothering me for real. Like, yes, we're feeding him all the time. He's cooking. So we're giving him the ball every single time. Yes. What is the problem?
Yeah, he should have just said he was just more frustrated. He should have just said he was more frustrated they blew that 18-point lead instead of just
lost,
trying.
Right?
Yeah. How about you go in the locker room and be mad at your team because one person scored that many points on them? How about that?
This is true.
How about you be mad at your coaches because you couldn't come up with a scheme to stop a guy from scoring 62 or 70? How about that? Like, how about direct that energy in the right way? What are we talking about?
He was upset. The T-Wolves coach, he was upset at his team because they kept force feeding Cat the ball and then got out of what they were doing to create that 18-point lead that they blew.
Oh yeah. My bad. Yeah. I mean, like same thing, man. I like for that. Even again, like the football coach, right? Because he apologized. Like, you're trying too hard to be a nice guy, man. You're trying too hard to be nice. What you supposed to do? You should have been on the side telling them to give him the ball.
defeat the hot hand.
Yeah.
And if he's hot like that, that's a historic night.
Yeah, that's what. When you're on a team, a good team, that's what they do for their guys. You try to get your guys shots. If they're cooking, you try to get them more buckets, and if they're close to a record, you try to get them that record, and that's usually how it works.
It's not that
Just don't give up an 18-point lead.
Yeah,
Just don't give up the 18-point lead. That's my bad. I can see him being mad about that, but
Defense. Play better defense next time. Tristan Thompson suspended 25 games for some performance-enhancing drug.
Nobody cares.
Somebody said he was using performance-enhancing drug and there was nothing enhancing about his game.
I mean,
I'll be honest with you. You sent me the rundown, and I saw that on there, and I said, "What team does he play for?" I didn't even know he was on a team.
You're not concerned with him.
The Kardashian curse lives on.
He's just trying to stay in the headlines.
I didn't even know he was on the team.
That's what.
But to speak about Embiid though, shout out to Embiid for his 70-point night. I just feel like
That's crazy.
I feel like Embiid should average 40 points a game. And I know some people might be like, "What do you mean?
What do you always say about him? He bails the defense out too.
Yeah, bails defense out. And my thing is, it's simple. Like honestly, in a simple world,
if you watch, a lot of people just look at stats and watch Sports Center highlights. If you watch Philadelphia's games, he could easily average 40. I watched a bunch of Philly games this year. Like probably most NBA I've watched my whole life has been this season. I watched a bunch of Philly games. It's so easy. Like this, he has like 30 in the second quarter every game. Yeah. Like it's so easy. He scores at every level, and it's so easy. It's so easy.
The thing about him is like when I say how simple it could be, it's like you only need 5 layups a quarter, and that's on top of like the jumpers you make, the free throws you make, the threes you hit. Like, bro, like come on, you should average 40 a game.
5 guys, it's way too easy. Like, yeah, I take his over on the points almost every night, man.
Yeah.
So.
College basketball. There was a couple upsets over the weekend. Upset last night too. South Carolina over Kentucky. Duke. Pittsburgh upset Duke. You see the dude that hopped on the?
Nah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he hopped on the scores table and he was having words with the Dukies.
Oh.
and so they took like a still picture of it, and whatever you can imagine the fan base doing to an opponent team, that's what it's doing. You just saw middle fingers, you saw angry faces.
Some of these teams are hard to watch, though. Some of these teams are hard to watch, to be honest.
Yeah. There was I forgot what was the other upsets, but there was a couple buzzer beaters ttoo. College basketball was a little bit crazy the other day. R.J. Davis, he had 36 career high. North Carolina, they're 8-0 right now. I'll talk about them later.
I watch a lot of college basketball, man. For me, it's like I'd rather watch college basketball than the NBA, and it doesn't even matter what teams they are. So I watch a lot of college basketball, and coaching. We got some guys that are playing D1. We got a couple guys playing D1 right now, so I try to catch all their games. Yeah. But it's a lot of parity in the NCAA, which is great, right? Which means that the tournament is going to be amazing. So I think it's building up for a good March.
Yeah, hopefully.
Definitely. WWE and Netflix has reached a deal to show Raw in 2025. This is like kind of like a new thing. It's like a bigger picture in this with this deal because a lot of companies are getting away from network television and going to the streaming services. And WWE, they partnered with UFC as well, or they merged with UFC or something like that. So. Interesting move by the company.
That was like a company merger thing. With the WWE Netflix thing, the streaming companies at some you got to get they're gonna need live TV, right? They're gonna need live TV. You keep putting the whole season of something out, people watching in 2 days. There's no reason to go back to the platform until something else comes out, right? So. They need some type of live TV, and other streaming services already have sports, right? Like Prime Video has Thursday Night Football and things like that, right? So this is where it's headed.
Yeah, Peacock does some live streaming, so I think they're all gonna. Even YouTube does some live streaming.
Yeah, Peacock had. I think Peacock and WWE also have. Yeah,
they do something because Malin, she just got into wrestling not too long ago, so I got to try to dive in and try to catch a storyline to put on to.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I feel like the past couple of years, WWE has been making a lot of moves, a lot of changes. You know who's at the top of that?
I think they're trying to come. I think because I'll be honest, once they had like the WWE Network, I just felt like they kind of lost a lot of people that would just catch them on the whim or just flipping channels and things like that.
A lot of people were like not too pleased with how the WWE Network was, and,
so
and just like the subscription of it.
So I think they're trying to get back to just being more. I want to say household. There was a household name, but more in the household with more options.
I honestly can't. I honestly can't believe that wrestling like WWE is still as big as it is. Like it's crazy.
And my brother, he goes to live events. He still watches. So he'll go to live events and stuff. Like I'll catch some episodes here and there, but most of the WWE stuff I watch is on YouTube. I'll just go watch the old
stuff.
Yeah, I grew up.
Documentaries and stuff.
I grew up on. I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. That's why it amazes me that like adults still do. But I do like the shows like Beyond the Ring and all those type of shows where they like have those guys telling some background stories and stuff like that. They got some good shows with the wrestlers, man.
That other one is like was telling like the secrets of like certain moves they do in the ring and stuff like that.
I was just watching a documentary on somebody too. I can't even think.
Pedro, we got any boxing updates?
We do. We have Natasha Jonas beat. Once again, came up short, Michaela Mayer, but via split decision. So here's the highlights.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good, but she came up short again. I'm looking forward to this next fight. Again, Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz from Lawrence. I meant Worcester, Massachusetts.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good luck to him. All right, we're gonna go to our interviews and our highlights. For interviews, we got Boston College head coach Earl Grant. We got Mike Giardi. We got Lynn English head coach Alvin Abreu. For players, we got BC big man Quentin Post. We got Marbleheads Nick Lamont, Scott Campbell, Ryan Commerce, Obi Luciano of Lawrence, and Paul Will Dang of Lynn English. Highlights, we got Marshall versus Breed, North Carolina versus Boston College, Lawrence versus BC High, and Lynn English versus Everett. Check these out. We're going to come back and game picks. You guys got Bacon in foul trouble early. Did that change any of your philosophy of what you guys want to do with him out, knowing how big of a presence he is down low for them?
Well, he's been in the league for a lot of years. We've been seeing him, for a long time. And he's one of the best players in our league. He's physical, he's big, he's got great hands. And so we just wanted to attack him. We thought it was important to attack him early, make him play defense, and then, send an extra body at him and double. So I thought early in the game we did a good job of attacking him and getting the ball out of his hands. And he got 2 fouls, I think, with maybe 7 minutes left in the first half. So everything we wanted to happen did happen. So our guys did a good job of executing that portion of the plan.
All right, I'm here with Coach Giardi. Coach, man, after that first quarter, it didn't look too good after that first quarter, but what did you guys do afterwards to get yourselves back in the game?
We didn't panic in the second quarter. We said we had to chip away. I think getting that lead down to around 10 points gave our guys a little bit of confidence and energy. And we said it was going to have to be a defensive effort. Our third quarter, we played really well defensively, gave up only 9 points, and that sparked us on the offensive end, got 22 on the other side. That's a big swing, and especially in high school basketball. And you got to credit a couple of guys, especially Christian Weston. Came in, hasn't played a ton this year for us. We talked about him being a real defensive guy. He's really active, did a nice job on class tonight, really forced him into some tough shots, some tough plays. And that really sparked the energy for everybody and got everybody, including our bench, going. And that really catapulted us over the top tonight.
Nick had a big second half. Nick and your big man here, I think they each had 26 points in this game. But
how were they able to be effective offensively in that second half?
Well, I think we were a little tentative in the first half. We were kind of playing outside, weren't attacking the rim, and we said we have to attack the rim and force them to converge on the ball. That way we can dish and make some layups here and there. And Nick started attacking a little bit more, gets to the lane, and now they converge on him because he's such a good player. He's able to dish it to Scotty or to Nick and allow those guys, to Cam, to get some, Ryan, to get some big layups in there. And getting that ball inside over and over again, getting to the paint, attacking the paint, I think that was a big key for us in the second half, and that was the big difference. We were a little too soft in that first half.
After that loss to Peabody, what did you guys kind of do differently to able to get you guys back in that winning mode, after a disappointing loss like that?
We talked to the kids about that, and we said we need to just go back to fundamentals and playing basketball. We were overthinking it, overplaying it. Even tonight, we were a little bit hesitant as we started that first half, and we said we got to get back to basics, playing defense, dribble, pass, shoot, score, and that's what we came down to tonight. And the kids just did a great job of just sticking with playing old basketball routines and doing a good job of finding the rim tonight.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Man, I'm super proud of our guys, man. They never quit. Our last couple games, our guys showed some crazy, really good heart, and no quitting them. We were down versus the Burke, 19. Today, I think we were down by like 22, throwing the basketball all over the gym. And I told our guys, keep believing, because we work so hard as a unit. Our guys were forced to grow up early, and hitting adversity back against the walls, they could have went the other way. I'm super proud of them. They dug in defensively. They made big plays, and for you to come back in a game like that, you gotta be able to go make plays.
Some games is a test to see what your team and the guys are made of. I feel like this was one of those to see they're made of being down so much. What did they show you tonight?
It showed me heart. They told me I got some dogs. It showed me I believe in them. They're finally starting to believe in themselves and believe in each other. And that's more important for me, for them to believe in each other, play together, stick together through adversity. We were able to do that tonight, and I'm super proud of them. All the credit to those guys that didn't give up today. Bench didn't give up, coaches didn't give up. A tough road game against a tough crowd, and you down 21-22 in the second half. I mean, that shows a lot for us to win at the buzzer there.
They said it was going to be a blackout today because they're going to bury the Bulldogs, but you never say it all that when you hear comments being made like that about opposition.
Oh, well, you got to respect the dogs. You got to respect the dogs. They came in our house, and we feel like they stole one from us at our house. And I told our guys, you have to try to go get it back on the road. And our guys believed all week in practicing hard. And, we dug ourselves in the hole early, and we were able to dig ourselves out of it and come out with the win on the road. It's a tough win. I'm super proud of our guys. Paul Will with a heck of a steal at the end there. And then, Pierre with an offensive rebound, stick back to win the game. I mean, you got to go make plays. And we were able to make enough plays, one more play for us to win this game.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Coach, that one turned into an instant classic.
Yes.
Double overtime.
Yes.
What did you tell your guys after they built that double-digit lead?
I was stressed, and I told them that this team is tough, but we have to dig deep and bring out our toughness. There was a lot of things that didn't go our way. We made a lot of mistakes. They made some big plays, and the ref called some questionable calls. However, that's the game. And we stuck with it, and we made enough plays, to get it done. So I'm excited, and I'm very proud of our guys. They weathered that storm, and they made it happen.
Both Jalen's had big games in the second half. Reserves.
Yeah, go ahead. The ball's down there. Go.
The bench, they came in. You guys hit some big shots on the bench to help you start it.
Yes.
How key is that for you guys going forward?
Listen, it's a long game. It's supposed to be a 32-minute game, plus the overtime's an extra 8 minutes. That's 40 minutes. We practice with these guys and we tell them every day how important they are. They may not get all the minutes, but they're gonna come in and have to make a key play at the right time. And some of those guys, this is destiny. This is my baby. So they made some plays, and I'm very proud of our team. And then big Jalen, Williams Crawford, big when we needed it the most. Jalen Hunter Coleman, big when we needed it the most. And your stars got to be stars. Your major guys got to be major when it's time. And your role players got to figure it out. And Jordani Mack has been on fire the last 2 weeks. He struggled, and banged some big shots down the end to give us that lead. Proud of my guys. It's the kind of game we want to be in, especially as we get ready for the cities and the states.
Best part is, these two teams meet again in a couple weeks.
We meet again in a couple weeks, and God willing, in the city championship.
All right, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
Man, these guys were balling out here with Nick, Scott, Ryan. Ryan, I got to start with you, man. You were a big body on the boards right there. A lot of second chance points in the second half. What changed from that first quarter and then on to the game? Because it seemed like that first quarter was kind of a slow start for you guys.
Mm-hmm. I think, early they were hitting shots. They were playing good defense. They were hitting contested shots, and we knew, they were going to start to miss. And we had the size advantage on them, so we knew second half, we had a lot of crash the glass, be physical, and, fight hard. And, at the end, they were tired, and we just kept fighting down low.
What did you guys do this for all three of you guys? What did you guys that third quarter? What's kind of the difference in that third quarter, especially on the defense? You guys held them to 9 points, but then offensively you had 22 points, I believe, in that third quarter. I mean, what was the difference?
We took our intensity to a completely different level. I feel like, especially in our 2 losses, we haven't been playing with a lot of intensity, and that's kind of been our problem all year. So once we picked up that intensity, start off the half, it was a whole different game. We just kind of took it from there.
Yeah, I think our defense definitely helped our offense push pace, and Christian Weston did a great job on class tonight in the second half.
I think it was our pass. First half, I think we were kind of forcing stuff, one pass shot. In that second half, we're moving the ball, finding an extra man. That really helped us in the offensive end.
All right, what does a win like this help you guys? We're getting to that point of the season. We're almost in February, so you guys trying to position yourself for a good spot for a state tournament. So what did you guys learn from the loss to Peabody that's kind of just going to help you guys, that helped you guys today overcome a little adversity?
So that was only our 7th game, so I feel like we're kind of trying to find our footing. But a win like this, especially coming into a place like Beverly against a really good team, really coached team, and playing with that kind of intensity and playing so well. I feel like it's just a game that we can build on, and we're just trying to roll from here. We got Winthrop Monday, and then keep the wins tallying for February.
All right, it's Friday. We're not gonna hold them up. They're teenagers. It's Friday, so they gotta go. But congratulations on the win, fellas.
How physical was it down there with the UNC big guys? It seemed like there was a lot of physicality going on.
Yeah,
down there.
I've played these guys now for 3 years, so I know exactly what Baker wants to do, and then they always have physicality at the 4 and 3. They're the forwards, so we knew exactly what we were getting into, and I thought we matched up pretty well. I did think they out-rebounded us by a lot. Which we have to go back and see what we could have done better. A lot of it is not only on the bigs, right? It's also on the guards helping us get those long boards, and when we get switches, then the guards now have to box out. So there were a couple of things, and while we lost the rebounding war, but I thought physical, we matched their physicality pretty well.
Margin of victory is so small in basketball. Down the stretch, it seemed like they would score, you guys would score, they would score. What do you feel like you guys could have done better in that late stretch to close out the possessions and give yourselves a chance of coming out with the win this week?
Yeah. First of all, we just needed stops, and we couldn't get those. So either we would foul at the last second and play good defense for the whole possession, put them at the line. Second of all, I thought offensively towards the end, last few minutes, we kind of like I was saying earlier, we got flustered and we took quick shots that didn't go in, and I think we had been successful when we played out longer plays and kind of saw what the defense gave us, and then at the end, like I said, we just couldn't get a stop, so just those things.
All right, man.
11 in the fourth quarter. What were you guys able to do to just make that late run?
You know, we gotta stay persistent. Stay persistent. You know, believe in ourselves. You know, we believe we was right there. We didn't hold our head down at all. You know, we just believed we could do it, and we showed that we can when we was out there.
Third quarter wasn't the best offensive quarter for you guys.
Yeah.
How were you guys able to overcome that? What did you guys do differently in that fourth quarter offensively to get you guys back in that rhythm y'all had in the first half?
We believe it had to start with the defense. You know, the defense was causing a lot of turnovers, and that's what created easy buckets for us, you know, to get back in the game. You know, it wasn't going to be all at once. It was going to be possession by possession, you know, little by little, and then that's how we got back in the game.
You guys coming on a road game like this against another top 20 team, I mean, how big is this one for you guys as you guys progress with the season? And we're getting close to February, too, so this is a time to straight wins together.
Yeah, it feels great, you know. Obviously, it's a testament to what we could do. You know, we're missing a couple of our guys. You know, once we get at full strength, I feel like we're a team that's going to be hard to beat, you know.
All right, man, congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Fellas, that was, I mean, crazy. It's an understatement to describe that game. You guys fell down 14 points. They went on a crazy run in that second quarter to build that lead. Fourth quarter, it seemed like you two turned it up. What was kind of the difference offensively and defensively in that fourth quarter?
Shoot, I don't know. I just remember everything from last year, from cities, from regular season. Oh, my fault. I just remember everything from regular season and cities. I remember they just beat us, and I really just took it personal. I took it personal from day one, even before we played them, preseason. You know, I don't really know what to say, but like, you know, I'm just happy. My boy Jay did his job. The whole team did his job, so I'm really proud of them.
Jalen, you really had to buckle down too, especially since it was going back and forth for a little while, but defensively you guys buckled down, you were leading that. What did you tell you guys on the defensive side, what you guys needed to do to slow them down?
Halftime, we just went over in the locker room that we got to lock in on defense. Everybody has to talk. In practice, we do defense every day, an hour. We do pack line defense. Everybody got each other's back. So halftime, we all talked it out as a team, got back in there, and we fought.
All right. When you hit that shot in that corner to send it to overtime, what was your thoughts on that shot?
Shoot, for me, I'd say blame for that. I really tried to grab the ball, but I smacked it and he got it back. And unfortunately, he made the three. But, you know, next overtime, we just got it done.
Yeah, a few guys stepped up in overtime. A couple guys hit some big threes. I don't know what say about the reserves that came in with some of you guys in foul trouble that were able to contribute.
Number 2 on our team, Jordani, he's a shooter. I just make him shoot every time. Every time he gets the ball, he's open, I make him shoot it. I just let him shoot it every time.
Yeah, he's our shooter. He works on it. We trust him. So down the stretch, he came up big. And yeah.
Lastly, just in a game like this, an environment like this, standing room, people just standing, a lot of people came out to show this. How does this game just mean to you guys? Knowing that you guys know those guys pretty well as well, just for everybody to come out and support you guys like this.
This game definitely means a lot. The whole city was here. And playing our friends is definitely cool in front of the whole city. And we're all from the city, so it definitely means a lot. Get a lot of bragging rights. It's a big game, rivalry game. And we came out here and we fought.
All right, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That final possession, coach told us we need to go get a steal. We went and we got it. You know, I got the steal. They had to foul me. You know, it was a fast break. And you know, I hit one, I missed the other one. But my dog right here, Kyle, he got that rebound, and Pierre, my other dog, he came and he finished the game.
You guys are down by -20
You know, we worked on this at practice. I'm gonna be honest, we knew we were the better team. And that was personal. You know, their coach was disrespecting us. Players was disrespecting us. We just gotta show them. We just gotta show them who the real dogs in the GBL is. And that's us.
You got a whole arena that want to fight you guys. How you guys feeling to make them mad tonight?
Yo, I feel like everywhere we go, when we wear this, everyone's against us. So that's nothing new to us, you know?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Before we get to this, I just want to tell you guys what happened last night. Lynn English went into Everett. So basically, this was for the Greater Boston League. Everett started the game, built the 22-point lead. English was turning the ball over left and right. So they come back. English comes back all the way back. Everett, there was like 14 seconds left. All they had to do was hold on to the ball because English had only 2 team fouls. So they had to continue foul. All they had to do was hold on to the ball. The dude passes it. Paul Will steals it. Gets fouled, makes 1 free throw, misses a second, and then Kyle grabs the rebound. Pierre puts it back in, game over. So English storms the court. A lot of people stormed the court, and the Everett folks wanted to fight the English boys. But I was laughing because when they beat English, they did the same thing. They were talking crazy to them, and then they couldn't handle it when they was talking crazy back. So I was like, if you're gonna talk crazy to some kids from Lynn, you gotta get ready for the consequences when they beat you and they give it back to y'all.
Yeah, that's just the old, if you can't take it, don't dish it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So I do have to take off and get to practice, man. But I what was the significance in that game? Was it just a regular season game, or did it have anything to do with like first place or seeding, or it was just a regular season game? Just 2 teams playing in the conference.
Yeah, pretty much the winner was gonna win the regular season crown.
Okay. Yeah, no, I watched the clip. I didn't get to watch the game yet, but I watched that clip, and yeah, man, that was exciting, man. That was exciting. I mean, people storm the courts. What's the problem? This is what I'm saying earlier with the other stuff, like the unwritten rules thing. Like, what's the problem? You lost.
And when
it was a buzzer beater.
Right.
People storm the court. Whether you're better than the team or you're supposed to be the team. Usually on a buzzer beater, people run onto the court. It's just an automatic thing. You don't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? So it was an amazing scene. I definitely watched it. It was an amazing scene. But I do have to get out of here. I gotta go to practice, man. So thanks for having me. Obviously, anytime, I'm back.
Yeah, we'll get you before Super Bowl. We'll get you before Super Bowl.
For sure. What I do want to say is, though, I did watch the Breed and Marshall game last night, man. It was amazing. It was amazing to see. I know how many people were there because I've seen like the Facebook posts and stuff like that. You can't see the people, but you do see people starting to fill in under the rim and all that type of stuff, man. And that's great, man. And all the high school coaches were there, and there's some guys that could play, man. They had the little kid, I think his name was Garcia. He was out there shooting that thing from damn near half court. You got I think the Rucker kid, the lefty on Breed. Point guard on Marshall.
Isaac.
My little cousin Edmund's out there on Marshall, man. Big body, moving people around.
That's my guy.
Kids, man. Got some kids, and it's good, man. Because again, 2 years ago, I watched that 8th grade game, and all those kids are either in prep school right now, playing amazing, or JJ at St. Mary's and Rowan at St. Mary's, and seeing those guys develop years later, it's great, man. We got a lot of talent, man, and we got to push to get these guys to the next level, man. College.
Rowan's actually right out there, out the window. Actually,
word?
Yeah, he right out there. Yo, Rowan, go in that room. Tell Rowan go in that room. Say what's up.
That's dope, man. That's my guy. Row.
All right, Ant.
But no, man, I'm gonna take off, man. Just reach out to me anytime. You already know.
Yeah, man. Good luck to y'all, man.
No doubt. Yep.
Of course.
All right, we gotta do our game picks. Game picks.
I didn't do it before you did.
He got Baltimore and Detroit.
Oh, there he said that. I mean, we kind of all in the same way.
Yeah, we all in the same way. I'm picking Baltimore and Detroit for selfish reasons.
Yeah, same here. I'm just going, you go with him. Wherever he going, Detroit with it. We in Detroit.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Get some lamb chops.
Detroit wins it. I am pulling up for the parade.
Baby.
I'm a hit up my homegirl, India. She might pull up to that strip club I went to too.
I'm there.
Yo, listen, book's coming out soon. It's coming out soon. Make sure you get it. Make sure you get it. You'll be seeing clips of the interview all on social media before we air it. But yeah, shoot. Yeah, that's all. We out of here, man. We out of here. Oh, February's coming up.
You will see on my story though when it is officially available for purchase. I'll put it on my story and my page. So just follow me at Mr. Burton 23.
Yeah, and then February's coming up, so I'm gonna tell y'all how women hijack Valentine's Day as the closer day comes on. Yo, we out of here, man. Have a good one.